Hello, party people. I'm Greg Alba.
I'm John Humphrey.
We are going to watch the Watchmen. You know what I just remembered? We're going to watch the Watchmen Comic-Con trailer that just popped into my head. We were at Comic-Con walking the ground floor. Someone came up to us. Josh, I believe is his name. We got recognized quite a bit the first day we were there, and one of the first people was a guy named Joshua. I asked him what he was, if he was doing anything specific at Comic-Con. He's like, yeah, I'm actually the VFX editor for Watchmen, the HBO show. I'm like,
yeah.
Whoa, you watch our shit? We're going to be watching your shit. So let's go check this trailer out.
Who watches the Watchmen trailer?
We do.
This is a stick-up! Who are you?
Who am I? If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be wearing a mask.
There are people who believe that this world is fair and good. It's all lollipops and rainbows.
Regina King.
We don't do lollipops and rainbows. We know those are pretty colors that just hide what the world really is. Black and white.
Soon thou shalt save us. And we will whisper. Come.
We convinced ourselves that they were gone,
Don
but
Johnson.
they were just hibernating.
We came for everybody. Home, please.
Coordinated simultaneous attacks at the homes of Tulsa PD. So the cops hide their faces, and now the bad guys don't know where they live. And who doesn't want a secret identity?
Ta-da!
People who wear masks are dangerous. We should be scared of them.
Why?
Because they're hiding something.
Lori Blake, FBI. You know how you
Lori
can tell the
Blake.
difference between a masked cop and a vigilante?
No.
Me neither.
There's a vast and insidious conspiracy at play. I told you about it. Your head would explode.
Who are you?
Maybe, I'm Dr. Manhattan.
He lives on fucking Mars.
You curse too much.
Yeah.
It's only just begun.
Ooh, nipple chains. Oh, whoa, he's got the blue hands. I wonder if that is a definitive hint that Dr. Manhattan is returning.
From Mars or just to the story?
To the story.
I mean, they definitely had a brief glimpse of him glowing up there, but I have to imagine that he would come back to the story in some way if they're going to tease us that way.
Especially with that ending image.
Yeah.
They had the mask. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just mask. But then they shot the blue hands.
Yeah.
I was like, oh. Maybe Billy Crudup is the only one returning for this.
Or maybe this takes place in the Arrested Development universe, when Tobias turns himself blue. Anyway, the Watchmen.
Okay.
Let's talk all about the Mariner now. Let's do it.
I wonder how this show will ultimately perform. I read something interesting when we were about to film this. Check it, John. And this is from the description box. Watchmen is based on the graphic novel co-created and illustrated by Dave Gibbons and published by DC. You know what I found fascinating about this?
Alan Moore's name.
Alan Moore's name is nowhere here.
Yeah, that's a glaring omission.
They were taking inspiration from the original graphic novel and they want to do like their own new thing. So there's not really a whole bunch of source material that's going to be included in this trailer because a lot of it's going to just be completely original and made up and expanded upon. So I wanted to see who was starring in it. Then I came across this description, and I was like, Alan Moore must want nothing to do with this.
There must be some contract out there that says, like, from now on, if you shoot any of my books, just don't even mention my name.
Yeah, I know he doesn't generally even like the idea of his graphic novels being adapted. I don't know of any of his work that he was ultimately satisfied with being adapted. I mean, don't quote me 100% on that, but this doesn't even feel like Alan Moore in and of itself. I know I'm judging like a whole season of television off of a 3-minute teaser that they're giving us. There are parts that feel like they're trying to be Watchmen. It does feel more Damon Lindelof than Alan Moore. Yeah. Which I have to just accept. I just gotta roll with it, and it still looks cool.
Yeah, I like the concept of what they're trying to do, while at the same time it makes me very wary, just because Damon Lindelof, I think, has a lot of interesting ideas, but go on to any comment thread, and I'm sure people will be bitching about his ability to tie up a complete story or pay off different threads. But just from the jumping off point of, yeah, we're basing this on Watchmen, but we're going to update the themes and kind of tailor it to now. I like the concept and the images they're showing, just the tonal mishmash they have going on. It feels very scopic and political and paranoid.
Seems like Regina King's the main star of this, which is cool.
Yeah.
Good for her, man. She's been killing it lately.
Being a badass, yeah.
Badass. What I'm finding really interesting about the marketing for this, I don't know how much the fan base for the Watchmen movie has developed since it first came out. I pulled the numbers up right here. The movie cost $130 million just to make. It's not even including the marketing, which was awesome, by the way. The marketing
is the best part.
So cool. It domestically made $107 million and foreign made $77 million. So it definitely didn't make its money back. And while the aesthetic design of the movie is obviously trying to rip the pages directly, I can't just sit here and say the show is drawing inspiration from the movie, because the movie's technically just wanting to be exactly the comic book, you know?
Up until the end. Comes time to pay it all off.
Exactly. They said that this show is supposed to follow after the movie. They've said that.
It seemed like, because Jeremy Irons is a pretty good match for Matthew Good.
Because, yeah, there were changes they made to the ending of the Watchmen movie, and then this show is supposed to follow whatever the ending changes were in the Watchmen movie. So to that degree, I've got a few questions that are kind of raised. With the marketing of this, if you don't know Watchmen at all, if you've never read the graphic novel, if you've never seen the movie, I feel like you're just going to watch this trailer and be like, what the hell's going on? I don't understand. Because even as someone who's read and watched it, a lot of me goes, I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of confused. I pick it up bits and pieces here and there, but I don't fully know what's happening.
Some kind of Rorschach-based movement. The police are wearing masks now. Adrian Veidt is still doing his rich guy thing.
Yes.
And Regina King's kicking ass.
A lot of arguments about symbolism happening here.
The nature of, how do you tell a cop from a superhero?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's like, yeah, well, I'm picking up on some themes. It seems like this show is going to depend so heavily on the mythology you already have to be aware of in order to grasp this series. And is that really the wisest move, considering that the Watchmen movie was a flop? It seems like it's gathered a bigger following over time.
And Watchmen has a timeless classic comic book graphic novel.
Like, its
quality.
graphic novel is like considered like
one of the best.
One of the best, you know. It's like up there as being just a great novel, you know, not just graphic novel category. Yeah, exactly. So while it has that installed, there's still going to be plenty of people who haven't done it, either of those, and I feel like you got to reintroduce Watchmen, and I feel like the marketing has done little to nothing to reintroduce Watchmen.
Dude, they'll do a 5-minute recap montage at the very beginning of the series. Like, last time on Watchmen!
I feel like it's easy to watch this stuff and be like, I don't know anything about Watchmen. I'm not going to watch your show.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like the most striking thing about this particular trailer is just the array of images. The true, like, who are we going to follow specifically? What is the plot exactly going to be for this new take? I feel like it's something people would want a better sense of, because this is already like a tall order in a more ideal scenario, because a lot of people have said Watchmen should be a miniseries rather than a movie because it's so dense with ideas. I feel like you have to win over the people who are already skeptical because they know Watchmen and they know that this could easily go wrong, and you have to win over the people who just don't know it at all.
Yeah.
You know, and so...
And you have to win over those hardcore fans who know that Alan Moore has no involvement in this and are just going to refuse to check this out, you know?
Which you're not not going to do.
Yeah.
Maybe put on V for Vendetta and try your luck, but not Watchmen.
I'm gonna give it a shot though. I mean, I have HBO, so I might as well check it out.
Yeah, I mean, personally,
It looks
I
cool.
really want to see what they do with this. The best that this could be sounds really cool. So if they nail their potential, I would be psyched.
Yeah.
It's just got to be really well written, is the thing.
Well, are you guys excited for Watchmen? Do you have high hopes for it? Are you nervous, skeptical? Comment below. You guys can subscribe to The Real Rejects. Please click that notification bell. And hey, I would like to give a Patron of the Day shout out to a man named Joshua Walker. He says to us, he's an ex-video editor from the UK who now spends most of his spare time cosplaying. And I pretty much said, well, thank you. Now, I'm definitely going to include these cosplay photos in here. First up, we got him here as Thor, Fat Thor with a Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're actually overweight. I'm calling the Thor character Fat Thor.
Or Bro Thor, Gamer Thor. There's been a whole debate about
I'm
what
not
this
saying
is.
you're fat. I'm saying you're cosplaying as what has been
Thick.
coined as
Thick
overweight Thor. And then
Thick with
here
5 Cs.
from Deadpool 2, you got Fat Pete. You got Peter.
Thick Peter. Peter with 6
big
C's.
bone Peter.
Big bone Peter.
Sorry, it was just a joke setup. That's all it was. Actually, these look great.
Yeah,
These look awesome. Did you grow that
Yeah, I was
beard?
about to ask that because that looks like a really authentic
Thor
beard.
beard looks very real, and the mustache looks like you definitely put that together. You must really grow the facial hair. The wigs, though, were great.
Mm-hmm. Do you make them yourself?
Just coming back from Comic-Con, it's like, yeah, I have a huge admiration now for cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got this third one you sent us. Not gonna lie, no idea who this is.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I feel like I should be able to name it, but I can't because I'm not a good nerd.
Is that Valkyrie? It's definitely
No.
Valkyrie.
But I'm gonna go with Valkyrie.
Goldar
Definitely.
from Power Rangers.
Valkerdar. It's a mishmash. It's a crossover character.
I don't know where people can follow you, Josh, but leave a comment and we'll find it and we'll like it. And then hopefully it leads to enough people to checking out that comment and going, all right, we'll follow him on Instagram.
Dude.
Thank you so much, Josh, for being part of our Patreon page. Keep sending us cosplay photos because you look great.
Do one of us. Where you're both of us.